Okay, so the box is here. Came from FedEx. I'm only expecting one FedEx today. So, and it's arrived care of Pink and the Keytar cat. But here is the. I'm gonna do the unboxing really quick, and then I'm gonna experiment with it for like 45 minutes, half an hour. I have a physical therapy appointment later today. I'm gonna be like, yeah, my hand hurts more than normal. And I go, what were you doing? I'm like, everything I shouldn't have been doing, duh. So, we're gonna unbox this. It comes with more bubble wrap, but it comes with my favorite kind of bubble wrap. I like how the first thing I do when I get any new Keytar is I refuse the bubble wrap. But this is the bubble wrap that all the cells are interconnected. So all I have to do to get rid of it is go. So I give this bubble wrap 7 out of 10. As we have established, I'm not good at this YouTube thing. I'm just a girl who owns a lot of Keytars. Although I know people have said a couple times, they're like, why don't you ever post you playing the Keytars? I post that on Instagram quite frequently, actually. But to do a full, like, quality video, shit, guys, you've seen me. I max out my quality at, like, unboxing videos. So that can just deflate. Now I'm throwing stuff on the ground again. Alright, so that has been 9 minutes wasted of me opening up the Sonogenic, but that said, this is an unboxing video, and that was a box. So for y'all who have been, like, living under a Keytar devoid rock since January, Yamaha released this new thing at NAMM this year, and then it took their sweet time getting it here, which is why I have referenced that at the beginning of every video I have recorded and uploaded and or not uploaded. I don't upload every video that I edit, sometimes they just don't feel worth it. But so they call this the SHS-500, which is really nice because this is the SHS-10, and then they have the SHS-200, so it's cute that they brought back, the thing. Comes with a strap, which is nice. My Edge came with a strap too, and I appreciate it. Then we got a nice chunky manual. If you guys remember my Vortex unboxing where I was like a little bit bummed with how little was in the manual, I love me a good lengthy manual. Then down here we have this impossible to dispose of styrofoam. So the main thing that Sonogenic advertised was that, and this was also styrofoam, great. Ooh, it's nice. They're like, it's got jam mode, and jam mode is where it is nice. If you don't want to learn how to play music, but you did want to spend $300 on a Keytar, jam mode is for you. I'm not sure exactly what demographic that's aimed at. I'm all for music being accessible, but at a certain point it still has to be playing music. 6 AA's, that is the standard for Keytars. So it's got the neck down on the bottom side, which if you compare the wall of Keytars behind me, is kind of unique to the SHS-10. But the SHS-10 is one of the most iconic looking Keytars of all time. I gotta get batteries. I am dying to hear how this sounds. See, I haven't said fuck yet, and so I had to get it out. Alright, batteries. It's big. I don't think I expected it to be quite this big. Woo! So, like, if we're gonna compare this to Yamaha's other Keytar, I don't own the SHS-200. Look at that, that's like 7 inches taller. I think it has a speaker too, which is nice. But generally, the speakers don't sound very good. So if the speakers on this also don't sound very good, I'm not gonna be shocked. So anytime that you are reviewing a Keytar and you pick it up and you go, that's really light, that's because you need to put 2 pounds of batteries in it. Alright, pretty one, how do I turn you on? That's what she said. So they very clearly want you to play this standing up. If you play this on a table, you can't read this little LED screen. Where's the volume? Is that volume? That's in a terrible place to put the volume. Start it up too high. Okay, so I can hear that pretty well. I don't know if other people can hear that. Let's get a strap on this. Do I have to hold down the button? How do I turn it? There we go. Okay. Strap buttons. Where the strap buttons are is always like a big deal to me. Alright, well that's a thing I'm not crazy about. The, this ridge here is so big that your strap can't lay flat. That's not like a bad thing, but like on the AX Edge, every single piece of it feels like a well thought out musical instrument. And this just, right off the bat, that little, and this is the strap they provided, so I know it's not because it's like too fat or something. Okay. Still too tall. So something that people forget when they're doing Keytars, something that's easy to forget when you're doing Keytar stuff, if you're like reviewing a Keytar, this is up and this is down. Okay, hang on a sec. This wheel was volume like 3 seconds ago. Now, is that? So we got polyphonic leads, which is, okay. Let's check out that 1/4 inch output. I do love me some good 1/4 inch output. And it's got 1/8 inch headphones. So that's my favorite, is my favorite combo. Oh, this has been on the whole time, hasn't it? Is 1/8 inch headphone, 1/4 inch output. Are we... Okay, that's just flopping around and I haven't even done anything. Okay. That should not be as difficult as it's proving to be. What am I doing wrong? Cool. So we've got an actual transpose. How do I know when I'm back on C though? Can it tell me? There's no indication on this screen. Oh, yeah there is. I just can't read. So the keys are larger than the SHS-10, but they're still small enough to be mini keys. Mini keys are my favorite keys, actually. The keys are just a tiny bit bigger. It's not much at all. Post zoom, post zoom. Alright, it's just gonna be like that. They're a little bit smaller, but not much. Okay. I'm comparing these together because they're both from the same line, even though they're like 40 years apart. They're not 40 years apart, Pink. Like 20 years apart, though. No, 90, 30. Ew. Ew, I'm almost 30. Ugh. So the sustain isn't like a really true sustain. Because if I, this doesn't decay, but when I hold down sustain, it does decay, it just decays a lot slower than, which is honestly how I prefer Keytars. You can have a lot of fun with overlapping sustain, but... So that's cool. That is nice and sensitive. Pitch bend on this is crap. And it's in a good spot, too. Do I have portamento? Tuning. Line out. Vibrato. Oh, okay, hang on a sec. So there's no backwards on that. How do I do this? I angered it. Stop. Stop. no, when all else fails, read the goddamn manual. But, oh, I guess I should turn that off. Amp has built-in reverb. Okay. That's instrument. But the thing is that I want to review this for how, like, intuitive it is for somebody to pick up and actually just play, because that was their whole thing, was like, you can just grab this and play. And it wasn't like you can just grab this, read the whole manual, and play. So, that's got chorus. It's got, that's... I don't like quack lead. Cool. Square waves are my favorite waves. So I can go through these, but I don't know what to do. What button do I press to use this? Oh, so it's the wheel. It's the wheel. What has happened there? Is this jam mode? How do I turn jam mode off? I hate this. Okay. Oh, my button just wasn't pressing all the way down? How do I... Give me my thing back. Okay. I don't know what turns jam mode on and off, but... Now I'm in a drum kit. Okay, so portamento's not that bad. Okay, do I have to go through this entire menu if I want to turn portamento on and off? Okay, so this is not like the most intuitive thing. You can set it to like, oh, cool. Tuning is nice. I don't know if you've ever, you can't really appreciate the ability to tune this. Why is my camera sideways? Hang on a sec. No, that's not how you turn that off. How do I turn off... Okay, so something that you should know about me is, like, my phone has something on it called Bixby, and I don't like Bixby. So instead of figuring out how to program it differently, I just cut off the Bixby button. And that might be happening to the jam button on this. See, now it turned off. Why did it turn off? Why doesn't it turn off every time that I print it? What's going on? How did we get here? I will say that the keys are bigger, but it's not throwing me off, which is nice. Cool, so we're gonna... Okay. Oh, thanks, I hate it. Where's my... Why doesn't the volume work? Okay, so here's another fun thing. When you press pause, it doesn't pause. Okay. So, yes, I should sit down and read the manual. But I don't wanna. See, here's what I was concerned about with jam mode. So, like, it's kind of cool because I can just, like... That's awful. How do I turn this off? Is it... Okay, do I just have to press it like 5 times and swear at it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do have to press it 5 times. I hate it. I said last night in a video that I uploaded to Instagram that the Edge has this feel of being a really high-quality musical instrument that has good sounds in it. And you pick it up and you're like, I'm a musician. And the SHS-10 doesn't have that. The SHS-10 doesn't have a lot of good sounds, but it has a lot of good controls, and I love it. The question I was thinking about last night was, how is this going to feel as a real instrument? And it's right about, at the moment, on the scale of Tyco hotkeys to Roland AX Edge. Here's a graphic of that scale. This is like 1/10 of a step above the Vortex. So it's about the same size as the Vortex. It's about the same weight too. There's no buttons here, and I like that. So in terms of design, this is pretty good. I like that it has an internal speaker too. Like, there's something to be said about, I think I talked about it before, the ability to get in bed and jam with your Keytar. That's nice here. And I'm gonna read the manual and take notes of how I feel about things. Okay, important note here. This looks like a normal, just piece of box. Underneath the normal piece of box are important stuff. So don't throw away your important box. Nope, okay. Strap's just drunk, cool. This comes with a MIDI breakout cable for me to add to my pile of cables that are under 5 inches long, completely proprietary, probably going to be very difficult to get new ones, and that are not interchangeable. So, if you own a lot of Keytars, get real used to just stashing these somewhere. But this is like this little rubbery thing, and I give it 3 weeks before this little rubbery thing falls off. So I have notes, and I have dog-eared pages in the manual. So first things first, the exit button right here literally only exists to get out of the function mode. It has its own designated button. Why does it just have a single button on the neck where the important buttons should be that just does one thing? And if it just does that one thing, why does it also not instantly exit you out of jam mode? That seems like it would have been a really easy thing to do, and it just was something nobody thought of during the testing, but that was initially my first question when I turned on jam mode was, how do I turn it off? This one I actually liked. So when you plug headphones in, the headphone jack is up here, which is nice because that's generally, like, people who are the casual Keytar user, that's totally a demographic. Shut up, Pink. Are going to have shorter keys. They're not going to have headphones that easily wrap all the way up here. And when you do this, when you put the headphones in, you hear it in your ears, but it also still goes through your amp, which is great for monitors if you're ever playing in a place where you need a monitor. Also, 1/8-inch headphone jack is the way of the future. Get on board. So apart from the packaging causing me to almost throw out a crucial component that would be very difficult to get, I have 2 pages here of notes. That looks like it says lots of pants, but there's a lot of parts on this that are in well thought out places. The AC adapter is back here. Sorry, it's back here, which is really a good spot because you can't knock it. Like, the Bluetooth pairing with the Chord Tracker app on my iPad was so easy that I didn't even have a chance to be frustrated, which is great because I always get mad when I'm Bluetooth pairing. Designated cutoff. You guys know how much I love a good old designated cutoff wheel. So here we have Sawtooth Lead 2. And that said, I would prefer, here's your volume control, and here's your music control. It's this one. And I would prefer if they were switched, because I can bump that, and something getting a little bit quieter is going to be better than something randomly changing instruments. So that's my opinion there. It is, as I mentioned earlier, too fucking hard to turn off jam mode. You turn it on accident, and it changes all the keys, so you... And so if you press it, you then have to press it 4 more times to get out of jam mode, which makes no sense because there's an exit button right here. I don't understand why I have to press this button 5 times to turn it off when there's a button here that's only doing one thing that should be able to do exit too. Why is it like that? Explain, Yamaha, explain! Anyway, also up here, these 3 buttons are only useful if you're in jam mode or if you're doing like backing tracks. Otherwise, if that's not a function you use, the top 3 buttons up here are useless. Page 2. Why did Yamaha go all in on jam mode? In a ideal Keytar, it would be a Keytar that also has this function. But instead, this is a Keytar that does this, and it's a Keytar that does jam mode. Oh, and you can play it normally if you want. The keys up here being dedicated to that. The jam button, that's also, why is the jam button? Here's the jam button, here's the sustain button, here's the controls. Why is the jam button not with the controls? Why is there this space? How did we get here? How did we end up like this? How did we get like this? Why is the jam button even here? Why don't we control that in the menu? Why do I have to press the jam button over and over when I have this control wheel down here that should control the jam button? I should be able to press the jam button and then zip my wheel around to get to the jam mode I want. Like press and hold jam and then wheelie and then let go of jam and now you're where you want to be. Why would that be so hard? Why is it like this? This feels like 2 different people designed this Keytar and they didn't talk to each other. They just, one of them designed it and then wrote down all the other things it needed, and then one of the other people got that list and they made it, but they never talked to each other. That's what it feels like. Also, something I literally just now noticed is that in terms of construction, there is a little gap. I don't think you can see it, but there's a little gap in between this part and the end. I feel a little bit shoddy. This feels like it's made of higher quality plastic than the Vortex, but the Vortex looks like it was put together with more care. Oh, yeah. So this little slider here, real word, slider here that controls what effect you're on, you can look at your LCD to see which effect you're on, which is really useful. That's also something I loved about the Edge, is that you have this little screen so that you're not constantly doing this while you're trying to jam, with or without jam mode. That's actually really useful. And these keys are velocity sensitive, which I didn't think I was like, yeah, no, a bunch of my Keytars are velocity sensitive. No, velocity sensitive is awesome. Part of me keeps waiting for aftertouch, because I don't usually use modulation wheels very much, I just use aftertouch, but aftertouch is expensive, and this Keytar was only $299. But Plasmix is hers. Doesn't work quite as well in third person. The only other thing I wish it had is it's got enough keys where I wish it had split. Shit man, the GarageBand Keytar has option to do split. Because this does have, what the fuck are they called? This has, shit, how do I? Drums! They're called drums. You know, that's fun. And I like to play with a looping pedal, so having a drum set is really awesome. But I wish that I could have that section be drums and then have this all be other instrument. So hang on a sec. Here's a question I just thought of. What is a good song to damage this with? Just so you know, you can actually plug the iPad into the Keytar, and then that can all go out through one cord, one cable, onto your amp. You can do that through the aux cable. Oh my gosh! That's up. Let's see, wait. Oh dear. Does my volume control not control the amp? So the chord tracker app determines what the chords are, and it says, okay, these notes are in this chord. If you're playing it one finger, if you're playing it backing, here's how these modes map out. But it distinctly appears like nobody said, hey guys, if we just say, okay, it's a C chord, so it has C, E, and G in it when you play, so let's make sure all the notes are C, E, and G. They say, okay. And then nobody says, hey, did you notice that on the drum setting, on the drum setting, a C chord has those in it. So you play a C chord and it does that. But when I take the instrument to the drum, it'll play those notes. But they're not notes, they're drum sounds. So I can, like... How did they make that oversight that big? How did they get it like that? And I get that this is like brand new, just released, announced at NAMM. They had to take 5 months to finish it up and get it ready to send. I get that there's gotta be some things, but somebody approved this to ship out, and it's got so many little things that just aren't 100% right. And you know, I'm not expecting 100%. This was fine. I'm so glad we have an entry-level Keytar that's not just a MIDI controller, that is under $1,000. Shit, it's under $500. Shit, it's under $300 by $1. For the record, one thing I like about this Keytar is that it is very comfortable to just kind of lean on here. Like, you can get your arms here, and that's very natural. You get like a little bit of weight on it. Only thing is that you get a palm print on your LCD, LED. I understand that there's a difference, but I don't know how to tell it. And yeah, that's basically it. I think that this has a lot of potential, and if I was playing a prototype instead of a final release, I'd be a lot more excited about this. So, make sure to check me out on Instagram, where I will be posting me goofing around with this a lot more. I'll hopefully get something worth posting that I can put on this channel so that I can show it off and get all the YouTube hits from people looking for the Sonogenic to try to decide if they want to buy it. Because I like YouTube hits. That's why I'm here. Actually, that's not why I'm here. If I was here for YouTube hits, I'd be making way more money. I'm not making money off this. Brain is just like... Am I excited about this? Oh yeah. But, why is my camera tilted again? Oh my goodness. Everything is weird. And here's my real question. So, $300 is a decent chunk of change. So, the question is, why would somebody with no desire to learn and make their own music drop $300 on an item that's designed to do it for them? So my question is who Yamaha thinks their target audience is with this. I don't know anybody who was buying this Keytar so that they look cool playing the jam mode. We're all getting it because it's an entry-level Keytar that's at a relatively accessible price for a musical instrument. You know, it's similar to like a guitar. And it's got synth sounds on it, so you can just plug it in and go. You don't even need to plug it in, really. You can just, you know, plugging it in is even optional. You can just curl up in bed and play this. And that's cool, but generally, people who buy musical instruments want to play musical instruments. And I didn't purchase this thinking, oh boy howdy, I'm gonna use the jam mode all the time. That's exactly what I want to do. I don't have any intention of using the jam mode, except like, maybe when I've got that friend who wants to come over, I'm like, we should play music, and they're like, I can't play music. I'm like, never fear! That's my main question is, why did they focus so much on controls for jam mode when their average target audience, maybe they were targeting a different audience, but the audience that responded to this was an audience who's not going to use it very much. If you guys subscribe to my Patreon, I will recite your name from memory at the end of the video. So current patrons include Zach Snap and just Zach Snap. Hi Zach. Don't subscribe to my Patreon, it's not worth it. But my question is, were you excited about the Sonogenic, and were you excited about the jam mode? Do you think if you're buying, or if you had this Keytar, if you would use jam mode, or if you would be purchasing it to be a musical instrument and not a party trick? And I know that's kind of a low blow, but Yamaha, get it together. See, I can't snap in this brace. For a long time I thought that I was like making a little tiny sonic boom every time that I snapped, but it turns out it's not. And considering how the new Sonic movie is looking, I'm not like that excited about Sonic things right now. The box was good, except that I almost threw away some important parts, so that was not great. The instrument feels like a real instrument, but the focuses that they put it on, the things that they focused on the instrument having, don't feel like real instruments. So like when it's turned off, it feels like a real instrument, but once you turn it on, it sort of starts being like halfway in between. You guys have a great day. The end.